into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you've got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They go play action here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Daquan Jones in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Dion Lewis getting set to go again here with his guys on offense. Scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Mariota, and Bryant's got it over the middle. And down he'll go at the 25. Just a 5-yard pickup, but it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to weigh to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. He'll fight a man over the middle. It's Washington. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll make it second down. On second down, Roethlisberger. Washington with a catch, middle of the field. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Roethlisberger coming up with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And McDonald here over the middle. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here we go. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Let's discuss Dion Lewis as he gets set to go again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
First down, Mariota. Here comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. second down. Mariota. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number one. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Working out of the gun, Mariota. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Here's Brett Kern now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And this ball's going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. And it's the Texans who've got the lead in the second quarter. Will Fuller, a touchdown reception. From there, we head out west to the Golden State. Check on the Rams at home in L.A. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting 49ers. Brandon Cooks, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get out to Jacksonville. See what's happening with the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. D.D. Westbrook, a touchdown catch in the victory. In the game you've been watching, it was Ben Roethlisberger who led the way offensively in the first half. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Here comes Philip Dorsett now to return it. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now out comes Houston. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to. And if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. And the third down pass falls incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And Lutz puts this one through. And that will make our score 9-0. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense. I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. Again, it's Lewis. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. On the defensive end, Cameron Sutton with the tackle.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
With it is Brown. So possession goes over here on the punt. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, one quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown, complete. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a 1st down. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. Got a man. It's Brown. And he gets it down to the 32. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. For Brown, that's his 5th catch. So 5 catches over 50 yards. You might as well set your watch to that. He does it every game.
Think about 2013. The only player in NFL history to have at least 5 catches and at least 50 yards in every single game in an NFL season. So that's not just talent. That's durability. That's dependability. That's a guy who really wants to play each and every week.
And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. That is incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And now out comes Houston. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
You know they wanted, you know they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he's missed his first 3 throws. I wonder if he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must have been a heck of a halftime speech.
Yeah, maybe just trying to rally the troops back from this deficit. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found. The Steelers insert their nickel defense on 3rd down.
Yeah, they add a DB. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. He's going to air one out. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Now Brown. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone. And now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage. And, again, that second score here in the 3rd quarter. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. They find some open field here. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
And, Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
And the Steelers on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. Now it's Roethlisberger. But it's brought in by Washington. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
10 more there and another first down. Roethlisberger now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Now Bell. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Roethlisberger. His throw caught at about the 5. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Charles, you think Big Ben is happy to have Antonio Brown on the other side of his passes?
You know he is, but he also expects it. This is how their offense runs best. When those two get together, especially early, and continue to do it throughout the game, the end result is the one that we're seeing right now. They're ahead on the board.
It has been early and often. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. To throw here, Roethlisberger. And his pass, incomplete. Good coverage that time by Malcolm Butler. With that matchup, the adjustment that was made, you have a blazing guy on a blazing guy, and defensively, he won that battle.
The closing speed is the key. When you have a guy that fast and he can close at the end of a play and knock it away, that's a big deal, and we just saw him do it right there.
On 3rd and goal, Roethlisberger. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And now out comes Houston. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit, try it that way.
And he floated one out there, incomplete. Corey Davis, the intended receiver, and it's third down. He has still not connected on a single pass in this second half.
And right now they're going through all the different reasons, the whys, the wherefores. Bottom line, got to find some completions in there and get their offense moving.
On play action, Mariota uncorks one for Davis. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's fourth down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. This one complete, right side to McDonald. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
You're not you when you're losing. Snickers satisfies.
Back now here on EA Sports. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2. Now Roethlisberger. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been terrific so far. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times.
It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And the return will stop right around the 25.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here. And now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. Bell. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
The give is to Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today. They're trying to get him over 100 yards.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 37. And Lutz's kick is good. And the lead opens up now 21-0. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. What's that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Now a second down throw for Mariota. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing. But I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
And a short gain down to about the 33. Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
A give to Bell. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and look like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
And there's a man they call AB, always a volume receiver. He gobbles up catches, holds the number 2 and number 4 spots for most receptions in a season in NFL history. And in 2015, just 7 catches shy of setting the single-season mark for most receptions, currently held by Marvin Harrison, a Hall of Famer.
He had 136 catches that year on the heels of 129 the season before. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Now Roethlisberger to throw. That's complete right around the 8. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. And Lutz puts this one through. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by. But that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed them out quite a bit so far. It's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
And now out comes Houston. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
They run. This is Lewis. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
From the gun, Mariota. And he's got him in for Davis. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. And that one good for 16 yards and a first. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. T.J. Watt in on the tackle. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Mariota now on 2nd down. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
On third down, Mariota. That's caught by Herschel Walker. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
And Suckup will put this one right through, and they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now here's a timeout coming on the defensive side of the ball, as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Here's Bell, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And there will be a break in the action here. They're going to take a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Brown. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Will Lutz on for the point after. Lutz with the extra point. They have gone final now in Cincinnati. And it's the Bengals that wound up winning that one. Andy Dalton, a touchdown pass to help lead the way. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Mariota on 1st down. It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose. And it looks like Steeler football. It is.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Steelers, the win means they'll finish in double digits at 10-6. And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but a better-than-average season nonetheless. Meanwhile, for the home team here, they go out with a bit of a whimper as they wrap up a very trying 3-13 season. And this front office will have plenty of work to do in the draft and through free agency to turn this ship around. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.